So when I got to the airport in Merida, right when we got off the plane, and all my districts from the MTC has said this too, we walked off and it felt like this humidity, this wall of humidity just hit you, and it was very different. I instantly started sweating and thought that this is the hottest it could ever be. And my heart was pounding. I was really excited to meet my mission president and his wife. I had heard great things about them and was just excited to start this new adventure. So my mission president picked us up, and he was getting cars for us to put our luggage in so we could go to the mission home or the mission offices. And I sat and talked with his wife for a little bit. She was born in the U.S. in Idaho and then moved to Mexico when she was 7. So she's mainly grown up there, but she did know English, which was a nice safety because we were very confused, and it felt like home when we could, be able to communicate ourselves, even though we didn't know Spanish. So anyway, I was talking with her for a little bit and telling her how hot I was feeling and that this must be like the most humid time. And she just started laughing. She's like, "Oh, sister, just wait till you get to June or July, and then you'll really know what hot is." Because we had arrived in like October, which is, now looking back, it's really not that hot, and it was actually like a cool time, but such a contrast from Utah, where I had been in the MTC and lived my whole life. So it was a little change, but instantly I felt their love and just knew I could trust them, and I knew that they had my best interests at heart. And it's amazing how just God puts these people in your lives that, I always look up to them, and I still talk to them and ask them for advice constantly. I admire them so much, and I know that they were called of God, and I know that I was sent to that mission and for a reason. And part of that was to have President Garcia and his wife as my mission president. The first day or second day of the mission, we got to have our interviews with our president and meet our new companions and find out what area we were going to serve in. So I met my first trainer, and her name was Hermana Tagli. She's from Mexico, and she's just the most tender-hearted girl because, bless her heart, I did not know very much Spanish, and she used all the English that she knew to make me feel comfortable and help me adjust to the mission. We went to the mission offices before going to our area, and they gave us all of our books and any other tools we needed, and also they handed us a hammock, because apparently in Merida they sleep in hammocks, which was really exciting. Hard to get used to at first, but if you just turn and lay in it like in a diagonal way, it is the most comfortable thing ever. So I was really blessed to have that luxury of sleeping in a hammock. It was fun, and I actually still sleep in a hammock now. Anyway, we drove about 3 hours from the city. So from Merida, we drove south about 3.5 hours to our area, which was Tikul. And it's a little pueblo outside of the city. It's probably like the biggest pueblo in that area. So a lot of the people still spoke Spanish, but Mayan was also a language that was used. The farther away you got from the city, the more people knew Mayan, and the the grandparents, they only knew Mayan, and the parents, of a family, the parents kind of could understand Mayan, but they didn't really speak it, and then their kids kind of just didn't know anything about Mayan or at all, so they had a hard time communicating with their grandparents because they only knew Spanish. So at least in the pueblo that I was at, it was sad to see it kind of dying off, but in the further out pueblos, the further out you go, there are pueblos that just speak Mayan. The whole city just speaks that language. So it's really a different culture, and it's really awesome to see them kind of go together, and how that's just very important, that culture is really important to them. The church is really growing in Mexico, and I think a few years ago is kind of when the age change happened, and a lot of missionaries got sent down to Mexico, and it began to grow really rapidly. The area that, especially where I was serving in Merida, Yucatan, it's really common for these families to live together in their homes, and so they'll expand their home and just build rooms so that their kids can bring their family in once they get married and have children. So family is really, really important to them, and they do believe in God. It's a really believing state in Mexico, and I think that whole country has so much faith, and they want to believe in something, and family is really important to them. So when they hear the gospel, it resonates with them, and they're really open to listening and talking about God. They love sharing, even if you don't really agree on certain things. They love talking about religion and God in their lives, and their faith and what they believe in. So that made contacting people really easy, because it just meant like bringing up that you were a missionary and that this was your purpose to talk about Jesus Christ. They already were interested in at least having a conversation with you for the most part, and especially in Tikul, my first area. That, like I said, it's a little pueblo, so they know everybody in their pueblo, and quickly they learned my name because I was the first American sister to serve there, and they treat you like family, even though we have differences. They're really open, and the members there are really kind. The church has been growing, and I think in that whole state they have about like 11 stakes. I might be wrong, but it's been growing, and they seem to be having a lot of success. So.